In Dragon Ball FighterZ, Supers can define the meta. In the case of Season 3.5, a character's ability to pressure and mix their opponent post-level 3 is just as, if not more desirable than their damage output. While some among the roster are blessed with beautifully animated sequences that leave the audience in awe, others are simple yet deadly affairs that give their opposition little to no hope of surviving a two-touch scenario. To be fair, this is the most difficult video essay I've ever written, as taking into account multiple factors such as damage output, Oki, synergy, and ludicrous mix-up potential all culminated into one of the most thoughtful, yet contentious top 10s in the history of this channel. So to gain a further perspective, I made sure to reach out to the community with over 6,000 of you polled, and some expert help along the way. And by the way, if you'd like to make your voice heard for future video essays, subscribe here to this channel to gain access to my community tab. Follow me over on Twitter, where I throw it to you almost every single day. So, with the introduction out of the way, it's time to count down the top 10 best level 3s in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Number 10, Perfect Cell. With these first 3 entrants, you'll see a trend of amazing corner Oki with little to no Oki mid-screen, but in the case of these contenders, their corner carry abilities completely override any ill will left from full screen. In the case of Perfect Cell, his excellent Oki post level 3 is as simple as it is deadly. Besides having the traditional instant air dash high-low, Cell has access to his EX rolling crush that acts as a true left-right 50-50 while also leaving him safe on block. This means that he can recover in time to block and punish all wake-up options such as Raw Level 3 and DP. On top of the staggeringly high application of this EX move, when paired with the right assist, it can set up Cell's multitude of cross-up scenarios if the opponent blocks the original gambit. In skilled hands, this allows Cell to either take advantage of his toolset's potential to carry the opponent towards Mixed City post level 3, or even be rocked as a certified mid for solid DHC synergy. All around, when considering the factors at play, Perfect Cell opens today's top 10 with nearly flawless results. Number 9, Yamcha. While on the lower end of damage, every advantage Yamcha is given post level 3 in the corner completely makes up for his lack of mid-screen Oki. His dependability upon wake up is perhaps what solidified the character as a solid choice for Anchor and a consistent option for maximum DHC synergy. Yamcha's level 3 gives him access to a true 2M meaty, meaning the move beats every option on wake up shy of DP in level 3. Yet that doesn't leave the character without options in the face of mash-happy opponents, as his Wolfang Fist pulls the opponent out of the corner, allowing Yamcha to instant air dash behind his foe and punish all wake up attempts, or use it as a reliable cross-up option. Finally, what gives him the edge over Perfect Cell is his built-in sparking bait option with the backflip standing heavy. This option has been featured countless times on popular YouTube channels, but its ease of use is unparalleled when going for the hard reads. In all, he's a solid character who's made even brighter by his stellar corner Oki, and you'd be wise not to underestimate this Earthling's potential. Number 8, Beerus. Beerus is a character I believe is highly underestimated in Season 3.5. On top of having revamped assist, a workable DP, and a unique toolset, his level 3 super is one of the most damaging in the game with an astounding minimum score of 1824. And while suffering from the same mid-screen disposition as our previous 2, his damage isn't the only reason he's made top 8. His ability to corner carry makes his solid post super knockdown incredibly attainable, and once in position, he can deny all attempts with multiple meaty and safe options. His 236H can either be held to keep Beerus grounded while producing 2 separate orbs, or morphed into his quarter circle 4 236H8, which leaves him airborne enough for instant air dash overheads or ambiguous empty jump lows for half a meter. Yet for the more fickle Beerus maidens, they can set up one orb for mental stack or continue to hold the up forward input for another instant air dash mix-up. And when excluding the instant air dash, these act as not only a meaty but a safe jump that allows Beerus to punish all DPs and level 3 challenges to his dominance. Although its reach is shallow, when acclimated into your game plan, there's hardly a character that comes close to Beerus's destructive potential. Number 7, Krillin. Although unassuming at first glance, Krillin's post-level 3 potentially gives him the best mix-up in the game. While sporting less than average damage, it has other traits that would make it impossible to exclude from today's top 10. Sporting the moniker of Forbidden Oki, Krillin has the ability to DHC into the most disgusting guessing game Dragon Ball FighterZ has to offer. Certainly solid on its own merits in the corner for safe jumps and meaty setups, when paired with a character who suspends the opponent above the field, a quick half-circle back will allow Krillin's beam animation to whiff and cause a subsequent cascade of visual noise to obscure the vision of his foe. If done mid-screen, Krillin is allowed free range of motion to either go high-low, cross-up high-low, or even perform an unreactable Dragon Rush if timed properly. This turns the usual two-player endeavor into a bona fide guessing game, and with the multitude of options, you're bound to come up short. The only thing keeping this super from today's top 5 is personal preference, as it really is up to the player if the mix is worth the price of admission. Yet, for all those willing to take the gamble, they're equipped with one of the best and the most broken techniques in the entire meta. Number 6. Trunks. When considering damage, Trunks' level 3 is among the highest in the roster. Sitting at a comfortable 4,863 damage when done raw and a respectable above 1,700 when scaled, its KO potential is sky high. Yet Trunks also has fantastic Oki in the corner with respectable setups mid-screen that place him above the best with the right assist. When paired with his EX flip, Trunks can reliably get this level 3 grab anywhere on the field. From mid-screen, he has access to a fantastic cross-up option with instant air dash float install, and while he does lack a low-hitting 2L, he compensates not only with his EX Shining Slash for a double overhead, but can take advantage of any high block stun assist and his EX flip for maximum mix-up. Additionally, he has access to some of the best corner Oki in the game, landing directly on top of his opponent post level 3. The safe jumps, meaty options, and flip games he can play are limitless in the right hands, and on top of the high damage this level 3 gets from DHC, you're likely to overload your opponent's mental stack and force Spark with the right setup. With the addition of a low-hitting 2L, he might even crack the top 3 in today's video essay, but considering the plethora of tools he has in his arsenal, it's safe to assume he's a monster in his own right, and a welcome addition into today's top 10. Number 5. Android 18. Android 18's level 3 is unique in Dragon Ball FighterZ as its Oki positioning stays consistent regardless of where it's activated on the field. Whether it's activated mid-screen or in the corner, 18 will consistently be placed right or left of center screen, yet at the perfect distance to pressure her opponent's wake-up game. She can access incredible pressure off of her meaty 214M17 call, allowing for a plethora of options such as micro dash instant air dash cross-up with her jumping medium, simple same side instant air dash jumping heavy, empty dragon rush, or even close to the corner a true cross-up steal.
Wow.
Additionally, if you're into hard read, she can safely set up her EX17 call to punish immediate raw tag attempts for heavy damage. If that wasn't enough, with a high block stun assist, she can activate the traditional float fastfall shenanigans, or simply use her barrier to call out mashers for maximum insult. While in skilled hands, there's no denying she's an absolute unit, yet she also boasts an incredibly sky-high ease of use factor that's contributed to her recent popularity. She's a powerhouse, and when considering her solid scale damage of above 1,700, her level 3 cracks today's top 5 with ease. Number 4. GT Goku. Although GT Goku's Super Spirit Bomb Super is still quite solid when followed up with Dragon Rush plus Meter Dump, today's focus is rather spent on his often overlooked and potentially better Super Saiyan 4 Dragon Fist Explosion. This move's damage is on par with Trunks when performed raw, and even stronger if scaled with a minimum damage of 1859. And while it is an install, it still fits today's criteria, particularly since GT is most often played at mid or anchor to take advantage of his damage install mechanic. When performed mid-screen, GT has access to similar super jump float install cross-ups as previous entrants, but with the addition of a low-hitting 2L, his mix-up game becomes nearly unrivaled. Because he can also pair any straight hit with his EX Dragon Fist, his level 3 Oki becomes a bona fide guessing game that even top players will struggle against. And although this super side switches, when GT performs this move with his back against the wall, it will vacuum his opponent out of the corner, ensuring that he has consistent access to his mix-up arsenal as well as some incredibly strong tools once he gets in. As we've seen with recent national tours, GT Goku is still quite strong, and a solid option when considering the best level 3s in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Number 3. Base Vegeta. Base Vegeta, although experiencing a slight drop-off in popularity, is still exceptionally strong. Paired with his above-average damage output, his excellent Ki Blast, and his stellar toolset, he also comes equipped with debatably the best level 3 mix in Dragon Ball FighterZ. While its Oki is fantastic in the corner, sure, potentially only bested by his son Trunks, it's mid-screen that serves as this character's crown jewel. Known for his exceptional mix when paired with assists like Bardock B or Kid Buu A, Base Vegeta can achieve a similar level of deception when his level 3 super is performed after his off-the-ground command grab outside the corner. The spacing this setup provides is equivalent to a round start position, yet with the frame advantage given post-Galaxy Breaker, Vegeta has time to access a true dual 50-50 or 4-way mix-up with Super Jump Float install. He can land either same side high-low, cross-up high, or cross-up low on the exact same frame. This mechanic in skilled hands make any knockdown post-level 3 a nightmare for the opponent, and a treasure to any willing to abuse its properties. Surely the only reason Base Vegeta isn't higher on this list is because the setup is situational and won't always be in your grasp, but an exceptionally strong tool nonetheless. Now, quick sidebar before we get into today's top 2. While we could spend this time talking about other solid options like Kid Buu level 3 that stop sparking regen, I'd like to bring up a few level 3s that shine for a completely different reason: their animation. The memory of early Dragon Ball FighterZ sticks heavily in the mind due to the brilliant nature of each character's level 3. The colors, the peripherals, the attention to detail, they all made the game quite addictive for a casual fighting game fan such as myself, and began a full-blown love affair with the genre. So here's my quick top 3 for best looking supers in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Number 3, Hit. Did Hit mains really think I'd exclude him from this list? While he does boast solid properties that make it valuable for sparking punishes and the like, I'd completely be remiss to gloss over how fantastic his level 3 is animated. They perfectly capture the time skip, dimension bending effects that this character is known for, and do a solid job of making him an attractive option for those unfamiliar with the franchise. Just fantastic all around. Number 2, Goku Black. Goku Black was my earliest main for this exact reason. I'm sure I'm not alone, as Black's scythe-wielding reality-slicing abilities are on full display in the smorgasbord of technicolored mastery. While I'm always on the side of #buff Goku Black, I'd argue his level 3 super is perfect as is, and potentially a large reason for this channel's existence. And number 1, Gogeta Blue. This super does it all. It captures the awe of the closing battle between Gogeta and Broly to a T, so far as to remind myself that when I sat in theater, I was able to pick out the exact moment Arxis would use to bring this character's super to life. The charge across the screen, the overflowing abundance of power, it's a nostalgia-packed adventure worth revisiting every time. And if you're looking to main the character, I'd highly recommend checking out the Cool Kid 93's YouTube channel for some Gogeta mastery. And now back to our list. Number 2, Tien Shinhan. Sidebar, I had people upplay and downplay this character's position on today's video essay. So while heavily contested, Tien remains on the top of this list for both of his stellar level 3 options. Let me explain. While not counting the follow-up supers that can be dumped via Tri-Beam, it's important to note that this move did receive a substantial buff in Season 3.5, where it does less damage to Tien overall. Instead, today we're going to talk about Tien's Chaozu super. It would be impossible to write this essay without mentioning that Chaozu does the most scale damage of any level 3 by far in the game, at 2,610 minimum damage, more than a full 500 damage than its nearest competitor. While it does rob Tien of his Chaozu freeze technique, wise mains of the character will have kept track of their calls as to avoid the built-in whiff that comes with every third Chaozu summon. Yet, if the damage wasn't enough, Chaozu's sacrifice will always leave Tien at the same distance regardless of mid-screen or corner. This allows him to access another series of 50-50s with Super Jump Float install, as well as similar double overhead cross-up options with his EX knee. Yet, you might be wise to consider that Tien doesn't DHC into the super, meaning it lacks in synergy. However, because his Neo Tri-Beam does the 4th most scale damage in the game, not paired with follow-up supers by the way, it's a moot argument. So when going for damage, Tien is unparalleled, and when going for Oki, he sits among the top of the fighter's pantheon. And although this move is a one-shot mechanic, it's still not enough to exclude him from today's number 2. Now the honorable mention, Base Goku. Okay, this one is incredibly contentious because when originally drafting this video essay, he was in the top 3. But once again, stick with me here. This isn't a traditional honorable mention in the sense of, oh, he's a runner-up. Rather, it's a celebration of this character's versatility. Truly, Base Goku could occupy every and all spots on this list, including the number 1 option. But it more so than most contenders entirely depends on the player, As a base Goku main myself, I understand that one of the few flaws of the character is building a team to accompany his DHC synergy, yet I don't think that's enough to exclude him from being in today's essay, particularly because when performed raw, this super does easily the most damage in the game, aside from Android 16's self-destruct of course, at 5,631 damage. And while not often thrown out solo unless punishing Super Dash, when paired with his handheld Spirit Bomb, the combo only scales the super by slightly over 1,000, while also resulting in an incredibly easy sequence of events that leaves your opponent at a net loss of 72.6% of their health bar. Additionally, there are easy routes that one can take if attempting to perform this super solo, yet it's understandable that its situational nature makes it hard to compare with the previous heavy hitters on this list. Yet, all of this is just to mention that it's entirely dependent on which team you run with the character and how willing you are as a player to work around the hijinks. So you'll have to let me know where you'd put him in today's video essay in the comments down below. If it's worth your time, like it is mine, he's an easy entrant into today's top 10, even top 5, as his consistent ability to land and reuse this super is a cherished part of every Baseku main's game plan. At number 1, Android 21. Android 21 has one of the most unique and potentially the best level 3 in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Although not an easy decision because the competition was fierce, she checks off every category necessary to reign supreme. While both her air level 3 and her grounded level 3 are strong, we'll be focusing on the utility that Candy Beam grants her character. This animation gives her all 4 of her ability slots each time it's used, making the fear of being opened by her Oki all the more palpable. Further, her Oki is the main selling point, leaving her at a comparable distance to Chaozu, Base Vegeta, and other heavy hitters that can access a same side high-low or even micro-dash cross-up option. On that note, her micro dash instant air dash jumping heavy is perhaps the most ambiguously animated cross-up in the game, granting her further layers of mix within her Candy Beam Oki. Additionally, because this is her DHC super, it beats every other entrant that have a one-time use or situational setup, meaning she can rinse and repeat this option until every member of your opponent's squad has been served up to satiate her sweet tooth. We recently crowned her as the second best mid in Dragon Ball FighterZ, her Candy Beam level 3 being one of the primary selling points of the character. On top of everything, 21 also has the ability to heal back 500 blue life once on the field, a consistent way to regain the advantage on your opponent, and icing on the cake as far as this channel is concerned. Although her minimum damage is on the lower end, because of the plethora of installs, the ability to regen, and the disgusting Oki she receives after every use, it's quite easy to see how her Candy Beam is the best level 3 in Dragon Ball FighterZ. And that's our list. Now, did you agree? Did you learn something new today? Did your main make the cut, and should they have been in today's top 10? On that note, I'd love to give a shout out to some community members who really came through for their mains when researching this video essay. It truly takes a village. Big shoutouts to It's Enigma, Kana, Rokushin, Pumpin' Priest, Cal's Kingdom, Besu, and Master Tahir, Lord of Noobs. Additionally, if you'd like to get your hands on a few of the charts I used for today's essays, I'll link Ren Senpai's Excel files for the damage scaling on every super in Dragon Ball FighterZ in the description below, as well as a link to OG Super Larry's chart of frame advantage for the roster. Seriously, this video took some heavy lifting and everyone involved, including the community members who voted in today's polls, are absolute rock stars of the FGC. So if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to join our growing community, and remember, I'm the Dr. Blue. You are incredible. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.